You are now listening to Straight Blunt Podcast with my dad, Coach PR, producer Reed, and Christina.
Do you like edibles? Have you ever wanted to make them at home, hassle-free? Introducing the Magical Butter Machine, the easiest, most consistent way to make edibles at home. Perfect for growers that have extra plant material, you can use trim, buds, shake, sugar leaf, and all kinds of concentrates. If you make edibles, you need this machine. It takes all of the effort out of the process, and you don't have to waste a day making your infusions at home. Simply add your favorite herbs and your butter, cooking oil, or grain alcohol. Set your time and temperature, and the machine is going to do the rest. The high-power immersion blender is going to chop up your botanicals, while the internal heating unit is going to maintain the perfect temperature for your infusion. The Magical Butter Machine comes with everything you need to make extractions at home. Included with your machine is the reusable Purify filter bag for straining and the heat-resistant silicone Love Glove. Infuse butters, oils, and tinctures at the touch of a button. To get your own Magical Butter Machine today, go to magicalbutter.com and use promo code STRAIGHTBLUNT at checkout to save 20% off your purchase.
That's just the street name, right?
Oh no, because
it's still mad PRs over
my
there.
man,
PRs run that area.
You heard of Cake Crab Boys? They doing a pop-up shit come February.
Where, in New York?
In Brooklyn. I added you in Center.
No
where
way.
they from?
They're from Bmore,
What?
but they got the pop-up joint coming
Oh, that's gonna
with
be
this
crazy.
spot
So
on
everybody gonna
Vanderbilt, on the 16th. So he put Park Slope, Prospect Hike Park Slope right there, so I might have to pull up.
Okay.
Wow.
That's tonight?
No, the 16th
16th
of February.
February 16th.
Y'all spot still open?
No, I sold my restaurant last year.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I thought
No,
I
well,
seen you something.
when last year was 18, 17. 17 I sold it. September, yeah. Sold to this Indian lady. I sold to her, and she stayed there like 6 months. And she sold it.
She
didn't know.
good?
She didn't know nothing about cooking. She didn't have no family. She just cooked for her husband and thought she could do it. She had no family here, no nothing. So she said, "I just want to open a restaurant." I ain't arguing with her. She gave me cash. She gave me cash. I was like, "Yo," and and the money she had, no lie, was under her bed.
Right.
Yo, it was straight hundreds, all hundreds. She said, I never went to the bank.
Was you nervous in counting it? Did it take you back?
I know I would have bust her ass though. My wife was nervous. I was like, shit. I was like looking around for police or some shit to set up.
This shit is crazy. You got the cameras on?
Yeah, the camera's on. You ready? Yeah, we go. Oh, we going. Shit, we are. This is gonna be a dope ass episode. You heard us talking. I hope you know those voices. If you don't, that's Smif N Wessun, aka Cocoa Brothers, aka Smokey. Smokey Steel.
What's happening?
Tech, General Steel.
Yes, sir.
Smokey Lie. What's your other ones? What's the other ones I'm missing?
Me off, Mr. Ripper, Mr. Vixter.
Elamine, Don.
The PNC.
PNC boys.
Bucktown.
Black and ugly as ever.
Black and Ugly.
Night and day.
Night and day.
How about Kid and Play? Nah.
Henny and
Nah,
vodka.
no kid and play. Never kid or play.
Henny
Never
and
either one of
vodka.
those.
Henny and Vodka.
But you know, a kid did call us, hit me and asked me, yo, could I use the name me and my crew, the Smif N Wessun? I was like, yo, that's our name. Why you just want to? It's like, yeah, but you know, y'all was back then. I want to use it
For
now
the young
For
guys.
the young guys.
For the young guys. Can we use this? Can we take y'all name and use it for the young guys?
Wait, this is a for rappers, artists?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think they was from Japan or something
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
it's from Japan.
At least they called though.
Yeah.
Give them respect that they called, right?
They
Build
put the
your
currency
own
call
and
in.
then,
You know what? Now that you brought that, I want to ask something because I always thought like, you know how you saw like the older groups and back in the days, like the Temptations. There's always gonna be Temptations with a new member.
Right.
You know, the Four Tops is a new member. Earth, Wind, and Fire is a new member. I think rap never never been a group to do that, right? Like Public Enemy should do that. Like that should be like Public Enemy should be now with
There
some
might
new
be one or
dude.
two groups
I
that
want to
did
say,
that.
didn't Stet do something like that?
That's a Sonic?
That's brought in a new drummer, right? Besides Bobby for somebody else they had.
But they replaced them. But like to keep it younger, to keep that young crowd, just to move on for times like now. Like it could be like
You mean a whole
No,
different
they added
lead
on. They never got
singer.
rid of nobody though.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, added on.
yeah, like
Yeah.
like Smif N Wessun could be like
No, we
Nah.
can't. We can't, Coach. No, we can't.
No,
it's not. It's not. First of all, Tech can still write their own bars, and our bars is not coming from like the rapper school. It's really coming from our conversation and
Right.
our experience. So there's no one that could fill in the blanks of our conversation or our relationship for that matter. That's
Right.
why PNC means a lot. It's not just these 3 letters that we putting together. It's
And
like,
what's
yo,
PNC
dude,
stand
we
for the
are-
people that don't know what PNC?
Well, PNC stands for a lot of things.
Because
PNC
I thought it's
stands
about
for
partners in crime, right? That's
partners
what I
in crime, politics and construction, put
Power
niggas in
cash.
caskets.
Okay.
You know, basically, it's just what it stands for is a solid relationship between brothers, family members, aside from all of the other, the BS.
Right.
You know, we've experienced a lot of stuff in these streets coming up together, and we have built some really strong relationships with
Y'all
some
been
people.
together forever.
That's what PNC means.
That's why even just hip hop alone, not just as it had too many stipulations to add a new member into it.
Right.
Like it, you would have to basically come from the dirt with each other to form the group. Like, cause before actually me and him was partners, he had other partners. For whatever the most high to make mistakes. So
how long you was friends before rap?
Yeah, we was introduced through family, which is Cookie Head, the big old pimp you always hear us talk about.
Right.
Another PNC. Rest in peace, my man Sean Grady, who passed on, transcended on. And we had in Decepticons, it was broken up into different fractions. It was D-Shrug, Watercons, Combaticons. We was PM. Again, it's PM, Powerful Men.
Yeah.
It was Power Masters. And it was only just the 3-4 of us that made that up.
Right.
And that's how we built that bond and kept it together.
That was a sect off of the Decepticons.
Right. That was
within the family. Like, we really thought that we was
perfect men.
Perfect men. That was, that's where it really started from. Like PNC, before PNC, it was like PM and Perfect Men. It's like we was taking the lessons that we got from our elders, our big homies, and going, yo, we're gonna tighten this up.
And then you had to change PM. You changed from PM. I heard
No, we didn't have to change.
it wasn't because PM Dawn he didn't put pressure on y'all.
Lord of mercy, rest in peace. PM Dawn.
You said what?
Lord of mercy.
Nah, I just like.
Nah,
I just remember when Tretch had him under pressure, had them under pressure. That was crazy.
yeah.
Though,
But you know what was the dope thing about our high school graphic arts where we went to out here in Manhattan, like a couple of blocks? It's like we was already in the industry because we would see so many.
everybody was there, right?
Everybody was attended or they was coming up there for some reason.
right.
Rakim, Sticky Fingers was there, and Fredro, Craig G was
Craig
there.
G went to the school.
Cyclone,
When we got to the school, Craig G was leaving, going on
Right,
tour.
right.
So it
Wow.
was like, oh
Right.
man,
Wow.
Craig G.
And then
is,
Gemini, even Gemini.
Gemini,
too,
yeah.
right?
Well, your
Gemini
thing,
gifted
at
one,
that time, were you
100%.
PNC still getting ready to rap, or getting
Nah,
ready?
we
to
was
just-
beating people up.
We was hurting the streets. We was just hurting each
Yeah,
other.
yeah,
hurting
fucking
people.
Decepticons and
yeah,
shit.
Yeah, like going up to high schools and it would be.
Yeah, y'all was
You
get on my
hear
nerves,
the
man.
principal,
God,
yo, we
yeah.
got an early dismissal. The fucking Decepticons is outside.
They're in the back.
Yo, but like I said, that's what made us, and it made us into the perfect men that we thought we was being with PM.
Yeah.
So it helped us build that bond and make it stronger to be PNC and control what we started.
I'm so glad that y'all like when you look at groups from back then that y'all are still together, like especially when you have your favorite artists, your favorite groups, like damn, if they break up, it hurts your heart as a fan.
You feel that.
Right, you feel as a
100%.
fan, like it's like I don't know like anybody else. I know for me, like when I see that, I'm like, damn,
that's
man,
rough.
like,
Yeah, I was building with Cynical. Big up to Sin.
Shout out to
I was building with her the other day, and I was like, wow. I remember me and Tech went to what was it, like a in-store with EPMD. I don't know what album it was, but we got on the line with all of the The people we bought 2 CDs.
2 CDs to get the sign.
And then we got to the front and they was like, yo, man. You know what I mean? Like, we could have skipped that whole
Oh, so
thing.
y'all was already Smif N Wessun.
Like, we was already there.
fans of the
Yeah.
music.
Well, we got on the line. We stood in line. We got
Still
the
in line,
CDs,
like,
and
they was
like,
bugging
yo,
out.
Like, yo, what y'all doing, man? Like, yo, but what they did, like that particular day, man, is a humbling experience because these guys basically did everything but just pass us the physical torch.
Right.
You know,
But they actually did that to the studio session. Like,
Yeah.
a father would sit his child down and be like, yo.
And who did that?
You
Was that
like-
Eric? Or
it was both of them.
Both
They
of
was
them.
both there.
them.
They was both there.
They
was
both
like,
dropped
yo,
some jewels on y'all too, like just
100%.
saying.
It was both of them. It was like, yo, this is, I'm giving this to you, the torch.
Yeah.
Back
Y'all
and forth.
good. Y'all
torch.
guys is good. So
y'all take this.
Wow.
And
Word.
I never heard of nobody else doing it. I never known of nobody else to even say nothing like that
Nah.
even happened to them. And it was, like you said, a humbling experience, especially when you rocking with, listening to these dudes.
Yeah.
Like, before Smif N Wessun made the Timberland brand crazy, we all know, especially if you're from Brooklyn, Hit Squad, Das Effects was rocking 40 Below.
40 bucks.
Below,
But y'all made the
straight out the sewer.
y'all were like the beef and broccoli though, right? Like what was that?
We was the beef and broccoli, the chuckers,
The Chuckers,
the blacks, the
Right,
tan
right.
constructs.
Yeah.
And then as you started to make a little bit more money,
Yeah.
then the 40s came.
The 40s came.
But even before the Bishops was called the Tupacs,
Yeah, because he had them on right there. Yeah.
it was Books in School, Das Effects.
And you came in with your Timbs on today. What was that Timbs you had on today?
Of course.
You came in with the black Timbs on today.
Of course.
I thought Steel would come in. He came with the camouflage.
I got my young boys on right now. I got my
This is
low,
hot
I
right
got my
there.
low, I got my low flashes on right now. You know what I'm saying?
But staying together, so this goes back to the beginning question. For somebody to come inside and want to be part or even call themselves Smif N Wessun, you have to, like you said, you have to go through the trenches first, and right. It's not that even if you don't want to become Smif, just be
To
reach where
become who you are, right?
Right.
You have to experience some type of, not saying everybody got to go through something bad to find out who they
But
are.
experience
some type of pain or pressure.
Word, a piece of the gods of
You-
earth.
you're gonna
Got
have to know.
Akis out there.
Right.
Like I say, pressure makes diamonds, and it also busts pipes. Hot water boil eggs, and it gets you to harden up. So going through life, you're gonna have to go through something to exactly know where you stand and where you're gonna want to stand later on as you get older in life.
And it shows with you guys because people mention they mention groups, but nobody ever puts in like Smif N Wessun in their top 5. I don't really hear that too much.
Except for Sean Price and probably like Styles. Styles might have said, "Big up the Buckshot" or something like that. But you know what's real? It's so many of us, man. Like you can't hold nobody accountable for that. Like it's
No,
so
but
many
it's-
of us.
We don't really look
man.
for the accolades either.
I know you guys.
Like,
I know,
just to me,
I
that's
know
just
you
my
don't, because I
favorite
see you,
MC
your
right there.
your little like real like down to earth dudes. Like you see you anywhere, like you're touchable.
Right.
Right. You can come in and touch you, like ask you a question.
Right,
Right.
right.
So, but still, that makes it even. That makes it even.
But be clear.
But yeah.
You're accessible,
Right,
not
right,
touchable.
right, accessible, not
Don't
touchable.
touch me, don't touch me,
right,
don't-
right. Let me
Oh,
say
my
that. Let me
goodness.
correct that.
Yeah.
Right, but for that alone would make you seem like that would be one of the things I would put like because even myself, I looked at and the Shinin, 24 years, right?
24 years. Oh,
Okay.
give thanks.
Dope ass album,
Thanks.
fucking dope ass album, bro. Classic, right?
Big up to the beat, man.
So why not put Smif N Wessun in that conversation? Why not put them there? Like even it don't have to be okay, and even in the top 10, top 6. Why not put it? And I'm not asking you
Damn,
guys.
You haven't heard us in people's top 10s?
That's
I know what it, I think.
Loosely.
That's what gets me mad because I look at it like you're not gonna put Smif N Wessun in there.
I think like, because we have this conversation a lot, even amongst ourselves in barbershops, boxing gyms, wherever. And a lot of people that answer that question, what I tend to see what they say is they try to make it too broad and too big. Oh, well, which one of them? Oh, which year are we counting from? Or how many albums do you have to qualify to be in here? Or are we talking about lyrics or are we talking about punchlines?
Yeah.
Is it this or which one has the bigger foot or the boot? It's
Yeah.
it's just crazy. But I mean, like I said, we don't look for the accolades. We just do what we was put here to do and blessed to do and love.
Y'all
to
don't
do.
look for it, but at the end of the day, and you know, God forbid something happens, it's always, oh yeah, they were top 5 and but y'all didn't say that before when they would.
When we came out on the Shinin, we have a song called "Let's Get It On," and we say not trying to go out like the rest to be the best, just to get rough hits off our chest, nothing. Let's get it on. Now, 20-something years later, we're blessed to be able to put out another album. Now, our new album coming out is called The All. By no means is it everything, but for us it is. It's all things encompasses, all of our experience, all of the hardships, all of the ups, the fly stuff, the craziness, put into this thing, and we're gonna have a conversation about it. You know, and this is before we start talking about giving trophies out to people. Like, let's see if they even worthy of even having conversations with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We know we've been around long enough to see people just, you know, fall short of.
My point. You see a lot of groups break up and they're apart, and they still put them in a conversation.
What I appreciate about Tech and Steel, Smif N Wessun, Tech and Steel, to Coleman and Tone. Like, when you start looking at these guys, like they are a man's man. You can have a conversation with that bar with these guys. You can talk about real life. You can talk about talk about sports. You can really get into, like, yes, Nation. Don't piss nobody off right now. Don't piss nobody off right now, Coach. I was gonna wear my jacket up here. I was gonna put my thing on it. You know what? Oh man, we're gonna keep it neutral.
But you're right, though. You can do that.
Yeah, and it's a blessing for us to be able to do that, because, like, it comes for us. It still comes from the guys that we grew up on. You know, like we get to go to a show and perform on stage with Rakim.
Right.
You know, this is a guy who we went to high school and was listening to this guy or EPMD and Karis, one of these guys. And now we're on the timeline with these guys. Yeah. So we have to now maintain what our name means to these people. Right. PNC, we're going to continue to explain what it is. Tech is still going to continue to get to know more about them. Why we call him Hawk 2 Spit. You're gonna figure that one out after a while.
Why do you though? Why do you? Why they call you that?
News at 11.
We gotta wait for the album.
Tom Brokaw.
We have to wait for the all.
Yeah. We get into the conversation of what brought us to where we are now, which is, you know, it's an evolution for us to be able to you know, I guess, to have that build, because other than that, it's like, yo, we lost a lot of cats. We had to take some hits, right? You know, on a lot of different levels. So it's like, all right, you can fall down, or you can take that and evolve and go, yo, we're responsible for making sure that these names never get fall flat or never forgotten.
Right.
So yeah, it's the all, baby. It's the all. It's all things. Arm, leg. You know what I mean? And a piece of Gods and Earths. You know what I mean? A piece of our keys out there, a piece of the nation. You know, we know what we're talking about.
So before I get into the all, I want to go back, because you said brothers what brought you here and all the losses and everything. Let's go to the Shinin. Was that the first one?
The Shinin is the first
Smif N Wessun album.
First Smif N Wessun.
Yeah. That's not the first album out of the boot camp.
No, for you guys,
right.
It was first album.
Yeah.
What came up with the name The Shinin?
It was perfect. I mean, we thought about what we was doing, and like Tech and I have an interesting relationship. In the beginning of our relationship, two of big components of our relationship are brothers who don't rap. You know, these guys have put their hands on us and allowed us to go out there in the world, and we went and rep that. So it's times where we would be in the streets, and we would be communicating with each other without using words.
Right.
You know, so
you could just look at each other and know.
We felt like some spiritual,
other
crazy stuff. So we're like, yo, this is kind of ill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we ran with it. You know, like, all right, well, we tapping in, and we also creating. So it's like, all right, that sounds like that's us, bro. Like, what's the best components of two people? After Smif N Wessun, it's like gotta be like Batman and Robin or something like that.
Like shit like that.
Smif N Wessun is way iller than that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I mean, we of course we sat in the basement, we did our meds, and try to configure some things and
came up with a Shinin.
Seeing, yeah, man. And not to mention, like, that's one of the baddest movies, man. Like, when you look at it,
Yeah,
it speaks to people's what we was doing. That's how it was for us.
that's
Like,
where I thought you got it from. You know, was
Yeah.
from the. Was
I mean, of
from-
course
it plays into it because
Right.
that's what was going on in the movie
Okay,
also.
okay.
Because, like, he was having some conversation without the words actually like in his head and his mind, and
Right.
you know, and that's how we was communicating. with each
So
other.
did you play with these words, for the titles for the songs? Because a lot of them are all fucking misspelled. Well, when I say misspelled, when I'm saying misspelled, people, I'm
Yeah,
saying
that
spelled
was purposely done.
right.
You remember that-
One
that
time
was
is
the 90s. That's how it was
WONTTIME.
rocking.
Right.
Yeah.
One time, like
It was straight Ebonics time.
yeah, straight the whole album, like
Yeah.
record,
Nah, well, I would-
rec
I would-
time,
I would say-
recognize.
I would say this, right? Tech is responsible for a lot of the spellings. Like, Tech is responsible for when you look at the back of the Shinin and it has this like this poetic thing. Like, this guy was digging into this other realm of just putting it all together. He took all the titles and made it into like a poem type thing.
Oh,
so
you
it's like,
did.
so it's like, all right, you know, but this is like, you know, of course we're not toot our own horn and stuff like that, but it's like, yo, you're tapping into different creative aspects that you have, you know, and you don't know how it's gonna come out, but then, you know, when it's all said and done, people want to be like, wow, what made you do that? Like, what made you do that? Like,
Yeah.
I was trying to be creative.
Yeah.
You know, I was trying to communicate with people who I
And
thought.
being different at the same time.
Right.
Because back then, you know, it was so many of us coming out together. Wu-Tang, Big.
Oh,
Everybody
before,
was
I was going
dropping.
through the list of the song, but bruh, this is just a little bit of
That era, that was
this
2-3
year.
years
No,
right
wait,
there.
just this year alone, 95. That's when y'all came out, right? No,
95.
95. Y'all
Yes.
came out, right? January 95.
Yes.
95 came
Cuban
the
Links,
infamous
the Mob, right?
Rob Mobb Deep, only built for Cuban Links,
Only built for
Raekwon.
Cuban
Lord have mercy.
Links.
Me Against the World, Tupac.
Right.
Return to the 36 Chambers, Old Dirty Bastard. Liquid Source, Jizza. What's this? Do you want more of the Roots?
The Outcast also was dropped. That-
Outcast drop. I didn't put that in. Do it. Die. Az. Living Proof. Group Home. Poverty's Paradise. Naughty by Nature. Mr. Smith. LL Cool J. All we got is us.
The GOAT.
Onyx.
Onyx.
Happy
4,
birthday
5,
to-
6
to
Cool G.
LL
Yeah. Happy
too, by the
birthday.
way.
Happy birthday. 4, 5, 6 Cool G rap.
Right.
Conspiracy Junior Mafia. This is when y'all came out. This is just some of it.
Right.
But
Y'all came in a storm, bro.
We had no clue.
No
Out
clue.
of all of that, all of those people, those groups and artists you named, you was able to listen and tell who was who.
Exactly.
Right off the bat.
Exactly. That's what I said when I wrote this down. I swear I said that. I said, you know what's crazy? You could, once you heard the music, you know who's who.
Exactly.
It wasn't like the same. This is just a little bit. There's a whole list. I was like, more
to it,
people.
right? It's like
I didn't
so-
even write down. I'm
you
looking
just,
like,
you just name a bunch of East Coast cats.
yeah.
That's
I didn't even
true.
go to the West. You noticed that. I didn't even go to the
That's why I
West
said
Coast.
Outcast.
The Outcasts and somebody from the West Coast, I think. There's a bunch of people from the. I was like, damn, these dudes came in a storm.
And what's crazy about, not to jump off subject, I had a convo with Manny Fresh one time when I first met him at Homeboy Will Spin Sneakers and stuff and meat packing. And he was like, yo, man, we used to rock Smif N Wessun crazy.
That's crazy.
And I was like, huh?
Really?
He was like, yeah,
Y'all
because,
was
you
doing
know,
it in the
y'all
NO?
cats ain't never give us no love. And I was like, what?
Bumping that. You
It ain't-
stupid.
Yeah, it's like, yo, we listen to everything, but I never know how
Other markets was
separated music used to be.
Yeah, back
'Cause
then.
we had no idea what was
Right.
going on.
Right. It was all about New York at that time,
Right.
or whatever was
Right.
being played. We didn't, and that's why I heard a couple of cats from down south even say that. Nah, it's our time now because y'all had it and didn't give us no love then.
Exactly.
Which is crazy
Right.
because we didn't know
Right.
unless you traveled. Remember, there was no internet. There was
Right.
it was just radio and it was
But if you was well experienced in
To
music,
music,
what you was
move around.
rocking, what you was listening to
yeah
everything.
yeah.
So it wasn't just like, yo, we ain't fuck with the South or Midwest
Right,
or
right.
down there. Nah, it was, we didn't know.
We didn't know because when think about when Master P and Juvenile came out with the High and Master P came with Ice Cream Man, it was like, oh shit.
New York was going
Yeah.
crazy over
for that.
Ice Cream
Yeah,
Man.
so we was fucking with it. It was
Right.
just that you wouldn't know that if you was only
That
here.
was- a lot of people,
Right.
a lot of people don't know that. In what is it, '94? Smif N Wessun and Outkast was competing for
The
best
Source
album
joint.
of the year for the
Source.
Source magazine.
Get out of here.
That was at the
So-
Source Awards.
That was the Source
Yeah?
Awards. So that was
Yeah,
that was the same year when Death Row and
That was the whole.
and-
That was the
and
whole
P.
Source
Diddy,
Awards thing. Right?
you know, them cats.
Oh,
they
you
was on
you
it
want
like
you
that.
one of your producers not all up
Yeah.
in your video.
Right. But we was in like row number 4, going. It's about to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like
So you guys were there at the
Yeah,
Source
yeah,
Awards.
yeah.
They
that
were
was-
fatigued out there.
Yeah, that was all of that. You know what I mean? So everybody know how we move around. It's either, you know, it was a lot of cats that wasn't even alive yet.
exactly.
But the way these hip hop shows look like, that's how that Source Awards was really looking. Hip hop Source Awards.
It was a straight hip hop.
Hip hop Source Awards.
It was crazy.
It was beautiful,
was-
but
but
it
it
was
was
crazy.
it was
awesome.
But it was crazy.
We
Never
was-
seen nothing like it again.
So that was for the Shinin.
Yes.
That was for the Shine.
But the Shinin got released in '95, and that was the awards.
Yeah, because our single came out in 94.
94, right?
Right.
And the first single off of that was
Bucktown.
Bucktown, let's get it on.
Bucktown, let's get it on. Okay.
And we did videos for both of those, which is like unheard of to this day. Like we had probably like the most videos ever on like one album.
For the
Probably,
first album, too.
6.
Yeah,
Couldn't
'cause I was looking-
decide which to be, so
videos.
that's why it was A and double A. It wasn't an A and a B side.
Yeah, because y'all blessed the fans with those videos. It was like, like I remember watching when Buckshot came with his, who got the props? Was it? I was a big Buckshot fan, and then my dude was like, yo, Nas. I'm like, get out of here, Nas. Yeah, Nas. I was like, oh,
Nas
yeah,
is a
Nas.
fan of
Like,
Right.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
we all 360.
Right. It was the same thing. So,
Right.
What was dope is that like we Brooklyn cats, so whatever, like we learned a lot from watching Black Moon and them do their thing. You know what I mean? Big up to E, big up to Five, big up to Mr. Walt. A lot of people forget about Mr.
Mr.
Walt.
Walt. You can't forget about Mr. Walt.
But like these guys, they schooled us on a lot of stuff that we didn't know about as far as the industry.
Right.
We was with the other
The industry
stuff.
or the music business? Both
of those.
Both together. The industry.
Yeah, well, I mean, we was ready to sign up for different things, but it's like when we signed our contract, it's crazy that we on Broadway, and we signed our contract
In this building.
in this building, right?
360.
But
You signed it in this building.
in this building.
building.
So
You signed it.
I'm gonna keep it
Nervous
100 with
Records.
all you artists. A lot of people be like, "Yo, what's your advice for artists?" Like, you know what's real?
Oh, thank you.
You
You saw my list of questions here, man. Go ahead, man.
This is what I
Speak to the Takashis too.
I love
Please.
about the fact that Tech and I came into the game, and of course we didn't know a lot about the game, and we had people that was working in it, but we also knew that in order for us to be successful, we was going to have to commit to each other. So we signed up. In addition to that contract, we made a contract between each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Our contract between each other was like, aside from the street stuff that we was already into, we looked at each other in our eyes and said, yo, you know what this is? You ready to do this? Cool. So we knew, but once we go through this door, we're going to at least have each other.
Right.
So I can say this to all these artists out there. Have somebody that you can
Trust.
that you can walk through this door with. And you about to get into this thing. You got to know, like Tekashi, like you got to have somebody that you rock with. If you just started doing this stuff, then of course you're going to have to sift through it and find out who you can really rely and confide in with and those things. And this is why PNC is strong the way it is right now, because we came from a place that we already knew that.
We already knew that already.
You know what I mean? So once the rap stuff start hitting us and
Which
banging
is
us
Brooklyn.
in the head, it was not really like, we wasn't rocked. We wasn't like, you know what? I can't do this no more. We're like, oh, that's how y'all acting?
Okay.
Oh, let's fall back. We're going to come back with some Cocoa Bees on y'all real quick.
yeah.
Hold on, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
Like-
you had to change your names from the Smif
Right.
N Wessun, and
Right.
that
So
was when the
that
business
was-
part.
So
part
you're
of the
talking
business
about
part,
the
right?
industry and the lessons and the we ain't know nothing. I mean, honestly, like how many of these artists come in like Young Thug? You know the music business? Like really? Like you might be super talented, bro.
Right.
But do you know the music business? Like Lil Wayne, do you know the music business? So later on when you go, yo, dude owe me wild bread. Like I can't even trip off that.
Right.
Like get your money.
Yeah.
He know he owe you that. You know he owe you that. At least you found out at some point. You like, yo, I'm not snoozing through my whole
Right.
career.
At least
You
he
know what I mean?
woke up in the
That's
middle
what
part,
it is,
right?
right. Catch
So
on at
this
some
is,
point.
and this is where, like, this is why I'm like, yo, PNC, we got each other.
Who's the one that says, nah, bro, like the one that's just a hard.
The most,
Yeah.
or
the one that's just like,
just generically?
know the most, like, nah, my nigga, nah, we ain't doing that shit. I don't trust them, like, who's that one? Which one?
I don't know. Last week it might have been him.
Tech wants to say it's me.
It might this week it might have been me.
So
like,
it fluctuates. It's,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I mean, we
Yeah.
50-50 with this.
Clearly.
100.
Clearly.
We go in. like
So
you
who's the
said.
bigger brother though? Somebody has to be like,
Nah, well, you know what?
Everything's
This
the same.
This is what we learn from the outlaws. Salute to my outlaws out there. You know what I mean? Like, we learn from the outlaws. Like, sometimes the big brother got to be the big brother. Sometimes the big brother got to be a little brother. You know, it's like
Explain.
it's
Forget
all
about
about
Lil Bron,
it's all about the
Forget
balance.
about Lil Bron,
Sometimes,
no.
like, yo, from the mouths of babes, you never too old to learn something from your little
That's right.
homie.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And this is what we know from going through our experience. Like,
Right.
once we know too much for them, we're gonna be enemies with these cats, and
Yeah.
that's not right and exact.
Right.
You know that for a fact. So, little brother, big brother. That is. I learned that from big up to my homie, big up to my outlaw homie Stormy Coleman out there right now, and he probably in LA. Not LA, Atlanta, or he's in
Australia,
Chicago.
somewhere.
He might be in
Australia.
Australia right now. But I learned that Stormy Coleman used to hang out with Doc with the Akis, with the Nation of Islam. You know what I mean? And you learn these different things. How you gonna apply this stuff? Later on, if
Right.
none of this stuff works anymore,
Right.
big brother, little brother, like, I ain't no bigger than my little brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Just
If you-
age or
yo,
whatever, or
if
if
anybody
anything.
know General Steele and you see my little brothers, they both bigger than me.
Yeah.
You know my little brother Ray's? Big up my little brother Ray's fitness on the gram right now. He's a monster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
your
my
big
little bro.
Your big little brother.
That's a fact. So, like, you already know what time it is. And he out there doing his numbers too. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, throwing parties and just trying to get into the mix of what life has to offer.
People won't. I don't think they want to just take that in. It's always like it has to be an ego thing.
Yeah,
Even
gotta
with
be
me,
some
like, I'm the
levels.
oldest one of my brothers, and I listen to my brother. My brother's younger, and they're bigger than me, right? But I don't listen to them because they're bigger than me. I
Right.
listen to them because I can
Yeah,
learn
you
something
build,
from them,
right.
So I
You
can
build
learn
and
something
learn.
from them. So
Even
I
if you
understand.
do have the disagreement, you come back and you kick it over. It's almost like weighing the pros and cons of it.
You still learn from the disagreement, right?
Exactly.
You picked up
Yo,
something
hey,
from
yo,
that,
coach,
right?
I think I spoke to about like 3-4 people probably like the last 3 days. I told at least like 3-4 people I don't like them. I mean, there's people that I love. I said, I love you, but I don't like you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't bring me no beers. We're not doing none of that cool, corny stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's deeper than rap with
Yeah.
us. Like, we're not going to sit here and stroke each other's egos. We got more stuff to do.
Yeah.
And if dudes and females, if you can't grow up and do that, then miss us with that stuff. Especially when it's album drop.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So
Do y'all still get a lot of calls from your friends and family, like when it's time to go on the road or could do a show?
You mean like the what come through?
Yeah,
the show?
but want to pull up at the show,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, of
because
course.
before, when you're younger, it's like 40, the whole Brooklyn,
Oh, my
right?
God.
Right? Everybody wants to come through. The chicks is calling,
Everybody.
like, yo, I'm trying to get to the show, my nigga. Like,
They don't call you the whole month before the show, but the day of, your phone won't stop ringing.
and they pulling up at the show.
Sir, you had to weed that out, though. You definitely had to weed that out. So a lot of people did get the hang of it, but now
then you'll
it's
move as a
coming back around.
Come back around, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
And then you're
it's-
moved with an entourage. Now, does that entourage dwindle down some that you got older and as time moved on?
Yeah, we had to kick some ass,
Right.
straighten some up. Some had to do push-ups, couldn't hold up. So
Yeah, you still can't do push-ups. You gotta go, right?
right. But
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
all
get outta
just
here.
that's mental and physical training that you got to do. You got to keep your mind in shape as well as your body. And when you on a road for 40-something dates, 30-something dates, you don't want stupidity around you. I mean, you with your brothers and your people, y'all having fun.
But you gotta stay focused.
Right. You got to still handle the business. You can't get all drunk and twisted off of the liquor that's for the artist there before you even take care of the business.
Yeah.
Now you all stupid, slurring your... Come on, B.
Yeah,
It don't
yeah,
look
yeah,
good
it don't-
coming
yeah.
back to the artist.
Right.
So, yeah, along the ways you had to trim the fat off of it,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
quality over quantity,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Like he said,
yeah.
learning the business when the way that it it be going, you have to learn your own business. So when you're
That's
moving
right.
around,
That's right.
you know, then certain promoters just want to bring you or however. Oh, y'all move at 5. Oh, okay, that's cool. But when you start saying 15,
Yeah,
and,
no, I can't.
and
I
like,
can't do
come
that.
on,
Man.
yeah.
That's 5 rooms and 6
Right.
rooms. Like, I can't do that.
I
Right?
need a plane.
Right.
I need the whole plane, bro.
I
How
s-
we gonna do this?
I saw something Nas had put up. He was talking about, bringing his people on the road. I just saw it today, and how they was like the people get paid, but they could spend that all at one night in a strip club. They don't really see it like to say, I'm gonna stay and continue doing this because I'm not on the street anymore. Let me
Right.
continue working and build up from.
The-
You know,
yeah,
you
yeah.
might be carrying a luggage. You might be carrying records. You might no more records
I
anymore.
think
but
I
you know,
seen that post.
yeah,
too,
right.
Yeah.
So these, I know, and I saw this being on the road with 50 and Banks and the whole and other artists that the crews dwindle down because a lot of dudes don't want to work and feel like, damn, I get more on the block than I'm getting right here.
Taking life chances,
Right.
throwing rocks at the penitentiary, though.
Exactly. So they don't see that. Like,
Right.
you know what? Let me try to do something here with Smif N Wessun, and maybe I could go get a management, get me an artist. We could get a label together. They're not looking at
And we encourage that.
Right.
We promote that. Rocking with Smif N Wessun is been a lot of on-hand training and dudes that branched off and started like management company, or
Right.
started the law firm or something that they learned from us and was able, or that we was helped to help them open it and learn and teach them at the same time. We not even knowing, we learning from them, learning from each other, and it's all just kept in a in-house circle.
Right.
So, like you said, when they start putting their minds to it, they're able to stay off of the block. I mean, like you being street dudes, you always say, yo, don't never stop hustling. You just gotta work smarter,
Right.
and know how to move.
Right.
Because
You could transition that hustle mentality to something else, though,
Right.
if you really ill with your
the
hustle.
same nigga that came before you that got 40 years right now was saying the same shit.
Same shit.
I'm smarter than that dumbass nigga. They ain't never gonna catch me.
Yeah.
Clink.
Bye.
40 to life.
Yeah.
Now you like,
And then now
damn,
you here
son.
doing the same shit, right?
Right. So what did you really learn from it?
Yeah. Good. Let's get back to the Shinin, right? Because I wanted to talk about, you had the 2 singles, Bucktown and
Let's get it on.
Let's Get It On. Soundboy Burial. What gave you guys, because you started doing the whole, like, had the Jamaican, the reggae. What was that? I know that's at Brooklyn.
I mean, that's
Was
Brooklyn.
it-
That's
Was that- yeah,
lifelines.
yeah.
That's everything. Because I used to hang with we used to hang with a bunch of dreads. That's all
Yeah.
we really used to hang with. So hanging with them so much, you start picking up, sounding like them, talking like them, able
Yeah.
to understand why nobody else can understand. So it's you're like, yo, what he say, son? You like, nah, wait. So at the time, it was something new since we was new coming out. Cause before us, yeah, you had your KRS, you had your what's son name, man?
You had
With
Matt-
the fronts, Just Ice.
Just Ice.
You had right. You had
Yeah,
them
yeah,
doing
yeah.
it, but at that time, it was none of us that was in there that knew about it, that was
Knew about
rocking.
it.
Until we came on and we put our culture, our generation on.
So I brought that up because that kind of sound just like disappeared.
I mean, it wouldn't say it disappeared. We did.
Well, who's that like now? Like,
You're like, what? Really? Drake?
yeah, I guess
Drake
he's
is like
I guess-
multicultural, mostly
right. I guess
bilingual
right.
right
Yeah,
now,
you can
right?
say Drake because he just.
I'm doing stuff. So it's like, all right.
It's
when
a new day and age. It's modernized,
When
right?
we did that, we wasn't going, yo, we are part of the Jamaican sensation. It was just something that was cool for us, and we
Right.
did it.
But
Like,
y'all said that y'all wasn't yardies in the record. One of the records y'all
we
said,
not-
right?
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, we're
I
not
mean,
yardie.
Our family, our background, we connected with different things, but you can't like, we're not going to be the what do you call it, the fabricationers of trying to go hip hop and reggae and all of this. Like, forget about that for 1 second. Let's just deal with music as a whole.
Right.
The music encompasses all things. It encompasses all different cultures. It encompasses languages. It encompasses culture. So in our neighborhood, we are around Latinos, Puerto Ricans. Dominicans ain't come around till later. No disrespect. But it's like, I grew up around bunch of Puerto Ricans.
Yeah,
I grew up
it's funny that you said
bunch
that.
of,
When he said that, I was like, yo, he's right. I don't remember like when I was young, it was Dominicans.
I grew up around a
was
bunch.
mad
You don't
Puerto Ricans,
remember
that's
Haitians
crazy.
wasn't saying they was Haitians yet.
They
Right,
wasn't
no.
playing.
So the
it's
Fugees came out, then they said
so,
that, right?
So now it's like now you got Sapa Say, the Haitian Massive, Zo Pound, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But like we all came from somewhere else.
Right,
like
right.
if you're not willing to embrace what the cultures have to offer, then you're gonna miss out on a lot.
Right.
So we was out. We was in the streets. We was everywhere, bro. We was in Spanish Harlem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We was in the X. We was trying to find the best bud. We was over there with the Oyes, getting the hydro over there. We had no business that far uptown. We were like, yo, what y'all Brooklyn guys doing over there? Like, man, we trying to find it. We was in Queens. You already know. I got my first go-to from Gertz Mall.
From Gertz.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, we used to get haircuts at Gertz Mall when the homies was over there doing it. So like you always, as a child, you're always trying to find out what this culture have to offer. So you're gonna find these different people, and they're gonna influence you, man.
Yeah, and that's what it did with you.
That's what made them embrace us a little more than your average Brooklyn cats, because we was all over.
All over the place.
I
was times like when I would get up with Ted.
Where at?
Where at?
You don't
right?
want to say that.
No, where we
News
go?
at 11. Let's
We'll
just
go,
say news at 11.
LPs.
Not LP,
Right.
everywhere.
LPs, we get the chocolate and stuff. What was that other one on Church Avenue? Church Avenue by
wow.
by
9th?
Kings by 9th Street.
This is where Cocoa Brothers originally came from, because Tech was responsible for a lot of that stuff. Like, Tech used to go through the 5 boroughs and find it.
Yeah, he was. Yo. And he'd be by himself. Yo, end up at my crib, and we're smoking, playing Madden and shit. Next thing you know, we're in the crib playing Madden, right? Or I'm at his crib. playing Madden. Right?
Yeah,
First time I had sheesh was with Smoke. He like, you gotta burn it.
I was gonna say
And
Smoke.
you
That's
gotta-
what he was calling you.
You gotta
Smokey
roll
then,
it in. You got. I'm like, all right. He get that
That's
from
why
Harlem. That's like 1, 2.
I'm smoking enough
right?
for a lifetime.
And then he just
I'm high off
fucked
life.
my head up, and he says he doesn't smoke anymore. I'm like, what, bro?
Yeah, for 17 years, I
Dedication.
haven't smoked.
That's real.
That's
real
that
life.
dedication.
Hoodie is 17 now, so it's been 17 joints.
Where did you record the Shinin?
Where?
What studio?
We the first songs that we recorded was actually in
Kaleidoscope?
the first songs we recorded was in Evil D and Mr. Walt's house.
Yeah, freezing
And
in
then-
in the park across the street because we couldn't smoke and rest in her soul mama's house. So
There you go,
oh
son.
my god.
After that, I think we was the first guys who got that A room, that D&D A room, solid.
D&D. Oh.
Black Moon had the D&D.
I miss D&D
room
studio. That was
little bit.
that's
That
a
was the
museum.
vibe.
That was
That
a
was the
museum, yo.
100%.
That was a museum, a hip hop museum. You go in there, you don't know who you're gonna see.
You
You never know what hip hop artist you're gonna see in it. The artwork in there was straight hip hop. The vibe in there was straight hip hop. I'm like, yo,
on a pool table.
yeah, pool table. Like, this was crazy. Like, I love that studio, bro. And I wasn't an artist. Excuse me. I was not.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
not an artist. I'm like, yo, I want to come here every
But
night.
that was
yo.
it
Like,
as a fan, because a lot of people felt like that.
that's
a
a
lot
fan.
of
Like,
people
yo,
gonna be
this
like,
is
yo, I
hip
saw
hop.
Mary J come through there. I ain't know. I just looked sitting in the room, big ass TV, floor model.
We in the
Yeah.
A room.
And-
Jay-Z and
Primo
is in the B
Z.
room.
The owners of the studio smoke weed, giving you bud.
But
Yo, come try this.
shit, that was
Like, what?
so crazy.
Yeah,
man.
it was a nice. We was in a nice conduit over there.
No, well, speaking of D&D,
That was a vibe.
what was that vibe like when Biggie, the whole situation though with Biggie and you guys though?
I think that was just a misunderstanding. You know.
Was that Junior Mafia?
No, it had nothing to do with Junior Mafia.
It was just a Biggie situation.
There's a
was
lack
just-
of communication.
There's a super lack of
misunderstanding.
communication. Our little homies, they did a song and just so happened that
The
Biggie
video.
had a song.
The video
And-
had a fake Biggie in it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right, the video.
Which was just ridiculous. This is coming from the guys at the label.
Right.
This is the ideas they're going, yo, this would be cool.
Right.
Like at the time,
Because that was Biggie was on his rise and everything on his way up, right?
He was in the mix.
He was in the mix.
He was in the mix. He was on his Coogee stuff, and he was on his.
So why not
street
go at
stuff.
Biggie so make a name for yourself? I guess how the labels looked at it.
That's
like,
how the labels.
God,
That's
look at it.
exactly how the labels look.
It happens.
You
like
know
that.
what? You could say this, and maybe we'll be on the same level of looking at him. They could look at us. So I mean, us, coming up young, and at the same time, like again, that's not me and Tech's album.
Right.
Period. That song had nothing to do with me and Smokey. But those are little
because
bros.
Of, it was a whole boot camp.
100%.
So association.
100%. So we gotta, keep a lookout for our family still.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I what's good is that bros can evolve from that and know that really wasn't.
This part is part of the hip hop. I look at it as part of hip hop.
Like Bang that's my brother. Bang, C's, Clap.
Yeah.
It's
Because
always
y'all
been
can't
me
like
and Clap.
kicking it now.
Big was my
that's
brother.
What I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it can happen, and after that, it's like so what? You know what I mean?
At any time in Brooklyn, it would be me and Big in a car ride somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be in my own car. It'll take park over, jump in here. We'll go ride to.
Yeah, and that's
Anyway,
before
spot.
that happened or after.
But hold on. Before you answer that, what I would say is that the industry will destroy your friendships.
Of course,
it will make you start doing stuff and rapping against your brother or rapping against your comrade in the name of fame or some stuff like that, and you will start forgetting that you really got to put your feet in these streets.
Yeah.
So
Especially if you claiming it.
Yeah.
If you claiming the streets, right?
Exactly.
Especially at that time you claiming it.
This
is the
us
90s.
off for only for a minute because emotionally we got to all deal with certain things.
Right.
But bringing it back 360, man. We all good now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only thing that's not good is that we can't say nothing to Big Homie right now. Be like, yo, Big, like.
Yeah.
You know what time it is.
I'm sure, right?
You know what I'm saying?
So, okay, but after that, then you guys got with Pac. Started working with Pac. So I know it was that kind of looked kind of strange to people, right?
Right.
And Pac really was fucking with y'all. Like
that was in the midst of the East-West Coast beef.
Right. So people were looking like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
How did y'all take that? How did y'all hold that?
We from Brooklyn, man.
That explains
everything. I don't act like like them super tough guys.
No. Well, that's what Brooklyn do. that's what your Brooklyn dudes do.
We got to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? And we made the same decision we made when we looked and signed that contract. We looked at each other in the eyes.
Ain't no feds in here now,
man. Scarface.
Turn around.
You see the Scarface?
Like this shit ain't moving. It's going back and forth. Like, wait, hold up. Like, what's going on in here?
Yo, you think that's a Scarface clock?
Count that shit one more time.
Count that shit one more time.
What's crazy is that at the time we got up with Pac, we was also doing work with Aaliyah. Rest in peace. It was a tumultuous time in hip hop, and a lot of people. Wait, hold up.
Rewind. This was Aaliyah after R. Kelly, though.
Yeah, right. I mean, Aaliyah after R. Kelly, she was dead.
Like after R. Kelly, because after the marriage, because the
current events. What's real is that our PNC, big old pimp Cook, he's related to her father.
Okay.
And when we did Night Riders on the Boot Camp album, that was Cook. Cook reached out to Big Homie and was like, "Yo, I want to get Tech is still involved in whatever the case may be." And
big uncle, bro.
Right, big uncle. So it's like, all of these things are going on in music. Like whatever she's dealing with this guy, like we wasn't hip to that. That wasn't none of our business.
Right.
So when Pac called us, we just happened to be in the studio recording to that joint, and he's like, "Yo, I think he saw something Tech wrote on the back of the album, and he got a kite from Outlaws in Jersey."
So he reached out to y'all.
He reached out to us and was like, "Yo, I'm doing this thing, and I want y'all to come out here." And I'm like, "Yo, knock, who's there?" We was on the plane.
Wow. I remember when y'all left. I think because I was living at the same spot we was playing Madden at, and then Mike turned around and was like, "Yo, they went over to work with Pac." I was like.
Nobody was sure about what that meant.
What the fuck you talking about, bro? What you talking about, bro? They from Brooklyn.
What do you mean? What do you? Oh
what
God!
You talking about? They from Brooklyn. What y'all talking about? So you're like, all right, well, okay, let's see how this works out.
You know,
because I'm saying everybody was confused, right? I know because that's in the midst of that.
When we landed, we got there. He sent the limo for us. And we got off the plane and we went straight to the studio. We went straight to the studio that all that stuff was going in. So when we get there, we pull up, man. The first person we see is Snoop.
First person.
The first person. So we roll down the windows.
This is your first time meeting Snoop? This time?
Yeah, me.
Okay.
That's my first time. We roll down the windows. Buck see Snoop. Snoop see Buck. You would think they was long lost cousins, something like that. You know what I mean? He jump out the car and they hug each other and all that. Me and Tech still going, all right. we go get it twisted. We from Brooklyn. We know there's some connotations that's still going on out here. Then like 2, 3, 4, Pop walk up with the Pop walk with the George Jefferson. Yo, what up? You know what I mean? We like, all right, so we still in the car.
Right.
We like, all right, we got to figure this out, how we going to do this. So, man, it took us a minute to get acclimated into where we was going. We know what we was up against. Yeah. You know, we're not going to be like, whatever, we don't care. We cared. Yeah. We definitely cared. We knew what it meant. He lived around the corner from Biggie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But what we're not trying to do is have our hometown pissed at us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like we're not going out there for that. So maybe we could be the ones that can kind of like put a little bit of water on that situation.
Because what was the name of it? Was a project. What was the name of that?
One Nation.
One Nation, and that was to show that everybody could work with each other, whatever. Even
that was supposed to have been the first. Actually, was supposed to have been the first one that was gonna come out. There was supposed to have been another one that was supposed to come out on Boot Camp Duckdown Records. Right. Then supposed to have been another volume edition. Like it was trying to move from East, West, East, Midwest, down South, with just a bunch of different artists that you may have thought in the media had trouble with each other. But the music is what brings us together. That's why it's all One Nation. Yeah.
So, but when the word got back here, it was like, oh, Smif N Wessun is signing to Pop. I was like, how's that happening? Like, it was so many different things that you heard. Yeah. Like, oh, they gonna make a record dissing Biggie. Like,
nah, that was never.
That wouldn't be good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like it was so many. You know how this shit goes when the shit get back now. Like, because
that's why like I don't even like talk about this whole situation because it's a like let a sleeping dog lie thing to me because they was both cool and Big was my brother. Like I said, I used to live right around there. Like we would hang out every day almost, like so to speak. And it's just like if you don't know, you don't know. If you know, you know.
You know.
Right.
Yeah, I'm from South Florida. I don't agree with that. I feel like
what you agree. What's your thoughts?
I feel like you got to give a little bit of breadcrumbs for these cats. You ain't got to give them all the details and news or whatever the case may be, but you can't let them just make up their own stories because what is not facts should not be repeated.
Right.
You feel me? Right. So it's like that all can get us jammed up in a situation like
at least let your side be heard. Let your side be heard at some point. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, whatever you take from there, but you heard what I said.
It becomes a little bit overwhelming and frustrating because you got a lot of people who just want the drama.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you don't feed that animal, then it's like, all right, we don't hear your story. But it's like Smif N Wessun ain't for that. Not to get rough hairs off our chest. We here to make sure we can exist together in this place, and that's what our strength is when we talk about the shining. Mm-hmm. The shining is not about me or Tech; it's about the shining.
The shining itself.
All of us are shining. I shine, you shine. Yeah. So when we talk about the all, it's about the all, the encompassing of all the things that we've experienced. Now we're gonna give it back, baby, 360 degrees back home.
Yeah,
you know.
Since you just did that record, how did you get that record with Mary?
Oh,
how did that come about? That's one of my favorite joints too.
That was a Puff call. Remember the Intrepid? I think we had just came from shooting a Black Moon video.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
and we was already. Everybody was fatigued.
We was dripping. We was like, dripping in
like we was about to hit the armored truck or something. And it was a show that night at the Intrepid. And Big was performing.
Junior Mafia was on deck. Mary was on deck. Yeah. We don't even remember who else was there. It didn't even matter.
On stage. There was so many people. You know, the Intrepid, that's the ship museum.
Yeah.
So imagine that just full of hip-hop.
Yeah.
And imagine boot camp almost garbed up.
And it's already military joint, so we in there with
Where's the
fatigue.
footage of that, yo?
crazy,
Is it no
like,
footage?
It wasn't no Instagram.
Yeah, I know, but where's nobody cameras?
It's somewhere floating.
Well, we
but-
lucky there was an Instagram back then. There's been a lot of people in trouble
Oh
right there.
my
So let's.
And I think what happened, Puff seen us kicking it with Big, laughing and having convo, and then went on stage and did what we did. And he was like, yo, call me. I got something for y'all.
Working on the things.
That was for
Aight.
Jersey Drive. Was that for the soundtrack? No.
Nah, it was actually he was working on the
Was that for
remixes
soundtrack?
for it got used for a soundtrack.
For a soundtrack, right? Yeah.
But what he was doing was
No,
trying
Heads
to
Ain't Ready is on the New Jersey Drive.
Heads Ain't
Heads Ain't
Ready.
Ready.
Right.
Okay.
My bad. But what he was what Diddy was trying to do was do something for New
making
York.
Very
Remixes.
big, right?
Right.
He
That's where he
had
had just like left
For the
Uptown
street.
and all
yeah,
that.
for the
Right.
street, for
Right.
the DJ.
Right,
He wasn't
yeah.
selling it, none of that stuff. So he's like, yo, let me get a couple of New York artists with Mary.
Yeah.
We gonna flood the homies.
We went into
What's-
the studio.
what's-
He was like, Bob was like, yo, I want y'all to do that Smif N Wessun shit y'all do.
Go
big
back to
shit.
back.
Back.
I said, nigga, what? 100K. That nigga said, I'll get Mob Deep. I said, oh, shit.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Wait, y'all said 100. You told
Yeah,
him
we
100.
had
like,
the
come on,
delusions of grandeur.
It's
man.
the hip hop
We had
shit. We
delusions of
think,
grandeur,
Puff,
man.
niggas getting money. We
Yeah.
about to get paid
Yeah.
with a bag.
Right, right.
We want 100K, nigga.
What y'all want?
I'll get Mob Deep.
Like, yo, but he already had Mob Deep, so he was
Right,
Yeah.
He was bluffing. He was calling our bluff.
So
you know what I mean?
we trading blows with each other. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, shit.
He did the
But
puff
it's
shit.
Yeah.
See, it'd be times like that where if you know not even know the person, just when you comfortable and you dealing with, you know what you rocking with, shit like that goes down where it makes the business part entertaining and fun.
Right.
You love what you do.
Yeah.
So it's like powerful minds, like two dope boxers, two great boxers in their prime in the ring,
Yeah.
going at each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It was fun though, cause we really was like, wow. You know, when they first got the offices.
Yeah.
So we having the meeting, we look at the offices, motherfucker got steel walls and shit. We like, all right, we got paper.
And this was up here. This was at
It was up the block. This was when he was on 18th, I think it was.
this when they
Was it
first
Bad-
got
you
the
talking about Bad Boy?
office.
Bad Boy office. Yeah.
So the bad boy office. You
So that's where
already
you
know.
had the meeting and was saying, y'all 100, and he was like, hold
he
up.
wooed us. He was like, woof, this is woof. It's like, woof, okay, what you? Then he set us up. Like, what y'all want?
Right. We fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
Still doing shit.
And this is
17,
Puff with
18.
money.
Right.
But
Fuck that.
but-
Well,
but
you're supposed to go for that.
appreciate
You did right.
Appreciate it though, cause he gave us an op though. He gave us an op, man, and that's one of our most biggest songs to this day. Like it's not about
She said it's one of her favorites.
She says one of her favorites. It's not. It's clearly not about the financial feedback, but it's like everywhere we go, every country, every city, every town, we perform that joint.
Put on that song.
You know what I'm saying?
And it was the response is
And
still.
people know it.
It's
Crazy.
phenomenal.
Crazy.
That's one of my favorites too.
They love it.
I
And
love
it
that
means
shit.
a lot. I mean, the
Yeah.
bars. Is
you
like,
gotta hear it. You listen to it like how you not like it.
Right.
There's people that don't know Tech and Still, but when they hear that, they're like, "Oh, that's you. That y'all made that."
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember I brought this up. I don't. Do you also? You probably. I think we talked about this the other day. We were at the studio in the Bronx, and that kid came in with a sample with you all on it.
Yeah, you started to talk about
I
it.
talked about it the other day. Y'all don't remember this, and we sitting there with Self, and Self was like, "Yo, you don't know who that is?" And it was like,
oh, the
"That's
young
them."
boy. The
young boy. It was like,
yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, people will use your records and don't even know. Like,
Well,
A lot of people don't even know Self did Black Trump for us.
yes.
right.
Do you still promote that record? You still perform that record?
I have issues personally. I technically probably ain't want to say nothing because right now, because of what we dealing with right now, I honestly be like, I don't want to perform that just because it says Trump.
Right, that's what I was like. You
Right,
still
right.
perform Raekwon is on that record, right? Is that
Yeah.
Raekwon?
But
You
people
remember?
still
have so
love
many
that
dope
joint. They
joints
love
that
that song, man.
We have to tell them why we don't perform it
Yeah.
and why we're not going to perform it.
Right.
And we just rock out.
Oh, so you scratched it off your
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
but we got 6 albums, bro.
Yeah.
So we have.
Well, Black Trump was a dope record. Like you only get
No, it's
Raekwon.
it's a dope record. It's a dope record.
And it really has nothing to do with...
with Trump. It has nothing to do with Trump.
Right.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why scratch it then? Because it's Trump and
Just because it's dare we could do it, and it says his name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
much.
crazy, but hip hop actually accepted Trump back then.
Before he started
Before
doing
all
dumb
this,
shit.
right?
Hip hop accepts
I
vulgar.
interviewed Trump. I interviewed Trump. At serious, like me, who can so like.
Trump is a piece of work right now. Man.
Yeah, he
He
is.
happens to be our president, but dude's a piece of work right now. Man.
So what you
Let's
think
be
about the
honest.
whole McDonald's and pizza stuff, right? I was telling still earlier that might have been on their rider though, Tech.
On his clip?
Yeah, it might have been on Clemson's rider.
Nah, I doubt it.
Who knows? Like it was like, yo, this is what they ordered.
I doubt it.
You doubt
You're
they or-
thinking steak lobster cooked by one of the finest chefs in the world.
He could have
get
done that.
invited
He
to
could
the
have. He
White
could have done
House.
that. He didn't have the government shut down, but he could have actually went and hired chefs to come
Right.
in.
And he said he did it why? Just to show that because of the government is
Yeah,
shut down?
yeah.
Come on, dude is it's just his facial expression.
You just
That does
ridiculous.
it for me.
Yeah,
Be
say
like,
some
this
dumb
motherfucker
shit.
is
You
lying.
close down one board. You
Support
you
that.
shutting down the whole the TSA. First of all, everybody's walking through with shit. You
I
to
seen
protect the
some
border, right? The wall, but you're forgetting about the other Homeland Security, the other
You
borders.
said if we don't get this wall, we gonna shut the government down.
And he shut
The
it down.
government,
The government.
though. Like, if I can't, that sound like two kids in the
That's
sandbox.
what
Yeah.
son said. Look,
Yeah.
he caught a tantrum and ran out the room.
Yeah.
And I can't have this. I don't want
We'll
to
shut
play
it
no
down.
more. All right. Well, he just happens to
Going
be the
home
president
with
of the
my
United
ball, right.
States.
Give me
Yeah.
my ball.
Give me my ball. I'll take my ball too.
And unfortunately, Congress is so weak that they're going,
Well,
You know what? We just came from Paris, right? We was out of Marseille.
Uh-huh.
And people was lighting it up out there.
Yeah,
They
we
lighting
was-
it up
we was
out
out
there.
there in the middle of that protest.
We out there in
Yeah.
the middle of the protest.
This dude wants to walk straight into
Goddamn right. I want to
into
learn
the
something.
fire. I'm like, I'm going to a hotel. You crazy.
Walking the fires, right? Let's go that way. Nah, that's not.
that was the government against the protest with the government.
What it is like the people are they're dissatisfied
But
and they're
wait.
making it be known
They was trying to add tax of something. They
to
was
like I
taking
think it was
tax
petroleum
from-
or something like
yeah.
the gas or something like that.
But they was favoring the more richer people.
Yeah.
And then they was like, yo, why is you only doing this for that reason, for them people?
Yeah.
But the prime minister backed down. The prime minister go like, all right.
Yeah,
if
he
the
backed
pe-
down from the.
if the people, this is what our Constitution speaks about. Like, you know, we have the every right to rise up over a tyrannic government or whatever. But because it's like we got Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that, dudes will shut us down. Like,
Yeah.
yo, you hating, yo, you
Yeah.
fake news and
Right,
all
right.
that stuff. Like, nah, bro, you wildin'.
Yeah.
And we ain't with that. We ain't with none of that stuff that you talking about. The people that say they with that, they'll look at them, man. They look like oblongs, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they look like they was sleeping in a nuclear
They
site.
just got up.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Just
yo,
woke up
y'all,
out of
we
Area
can't-
51.
Not, you know what I mean? Area 51 voters, like, yo, chill. We not doing that. People are going, all right, I understand where you're coming from, but no, that right there makes no sense. Like, to have, okay, America, the land of the free and all that stuff, like, to have your government shut down doesn't make sense. Whatever your issues are, yo, dude, you really saying, yo, to build a wall or else?
And then he went up in his
You
prices,
motherfuckers
like the budget.
hostage, baby.
Yeah.
Or else?
Yeah, or else.
We can't don't talk no more. And then you want to have McDonald's and come on. So now you like, I'm just a businessman. I
But
don't
that's
really,
the food that.
Man.
Again,
He's a bad
we're
businessman, though.
Going over,
sucks.
this causes obesity.
The same,
Among-
the same food, right?
Right.
Right. And,
Yeah,
when we was in Marseille, France, that was the only mofos that was open. All of the ox, all of the what you call it?
kebabs?
The kebabs.
Yeah.
They was
Yeah.
like, yo, gates shut.
Shut down.
McDonald's like this.
Come get this shit.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, we not going in there,
Yeah,
B.
yeah.
Nobody is.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
You
like,
think I come
you know,
over here
like,
Paris to eat
come on,
McDonald's?
man. We ain't
Even though they
doing
said the
that.
meat is better over there,
it's
though.
not. That's now Cypher.
I
Then yeah, that's
stopped
what it
eating
said.
Emphatically
red
now
meat
Cypher.
on this last year
Oh, you
or two
did?
that we did. So.
Okay.
Word.
Wait.
We was at, well, people might have saw us on our page. We had a lot of seafood things going on.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
yo, you
yeah, I
trying
see
to
your
change
shoulder.
the
Yeah,
dynamics
yeah,
of it.
yeah, I see
You know what
yours,
I mean?
yeah.
Like it's a lot of crap that you get when you on this trail.
Right.
You know, and it's not only the food, but it's also the music, the conversation. It's a lot of stuff that. That's why I like 50 too, because he'll light you up.
Yeah.
He'll be like, all right, son, he catching feelings.
Yeah.
Bang, hit him
Yeah,
with
hit
it.
him
It's
with
like,
it.
yo, 50 being mean, cause you being the, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, I'm gonna expose that, cause it's really just like silly to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So at some point, like we, sometimes Americans get a little bit, I guess scared, whatever. Like you can't say anything because it's going to affect your numbers,
Right.
your popularity.
Everybody's
and stuff
scared
like
of that now. That's what everybody's scared
So
of.
that's
sensitive.
sensitive,
Yeah,
right?
this is where we at. But when we go outside, when we cross the line, people
It's
are
different.
on it.
Yeah.
Word, they don't play those games, and they'll change the government on you.
Yeah, and they like, yo, how the fuck you deal with that in America? Yo? Like, you look at us like we're
Like, y'all
stupid. Like,
soft.
yeah,
Yeah,
like y'all
right.
stupid. Like, you know that, and those employees, they're not getting that back pay. They're dead on that. So this could go on for this is going on like how many days? Almost a month now.
Well, you're like
So you're a whole
21,
month,
20-something?
more than 20. It's like 26, right?
25, some shit.
So you're getting no pay. Like you going to work for nothing. Like my niece, she just got on TSA too.
They said they
She
patting
just started.
niggas down with a pen at TSA. Like, get next.
Yo, whatever.
Yeah.
I want to fly right now. I ain't gonna hold
So
you.
you just fucked up that. You just fucked up those borders now. That
Transport
line right there
everything.
is fucked up now. So because you want to protect the Mexican border.
Right, which doesn't make. I mean, it makes sense,
But that's not detrimental to
that's
Right,
not
right,
right. That's
right,
not
right,
nah.
right,
That's not
right.
in the all right
Right.
there,
Right.
bro. Stop it. You spoke about it, and you gotta now you opened your mouth, and now you gotta kind of like answer for it. Just like rappers, you know what I'm saying? Like you say something about Tekashi. I can't say nothing about Tekashi. I don't know, buddy.
No, not to
But-
talk to the Takashis.
But
Meaning like
what I do,
the artists like that.
I'll tell you one thing. I know my beloved little bro, which is his cousin. He rocks with these cats. They were right, Mo Murder. We know these people.
Right.
Best style. We from Brooklyn, so we know.
You know the
who they
connections,
are.
right.
So what we're not gonna do is go, yo. We're not gonna browbeat on this kid because he got jammed up in these different situations. But what we're gonna do is like, yo, you all anonymous faces.
The
that's
older
around him.
the older ones around him.
The older ones, the younger ones, the ones that's like,
Yeah, yeah.
yo, like to you, messing to the black man or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, but I look at those are the ones, the older ones around Tekashi. Whoever's around it, that's your ticket. You should have protected that. That's all I have to say. Like, there's no reason the OG should be around it letting that. Matter of fact, I know when it was loose when you have him saying "suck my dick." Then I knew something was wrong in that corner.
for the older ones,
But
Something
that's
was
not
wrong
just
with
a Tekashi. That's our community.
Period.
Yeah, yeah,
right
not just
now.
to Tekashi. It's like
Brooklyn, Bronx,
everybody like
everywhere.
Yeah,
If you have
100%.
something that's innocent like that, but that can bring you and change your whole life, you take and protect
But
that.
protect that. You
Yeah.
know that as from the block. You know that. But my whole thing is like I look at certain people and there's certain things like how can we know that you can't go around saying "suck my dick" to dudes? You can't.
Gosh.
So who's
Them-
stopping
them,
that?
Them was get killed words.
Right.
back
So
in the
who
days.
stopped? That should have been stopped. To me, that should have been talked to.
The realest rapper that got away with that was DMX. Once DMX,
But DMX
he's probably
said.
the only one that can say that.
But what he said though, when I say it, you know, if all them niggas have been to jail, you know what I mean. That means I'm saying it for us to fight.
Right.
You're not just going out there and saying,
Right,
you know,
right,
if I'm explain it. If I'm telling you something my dick, that means you know
I
what
was
time
those
it is.
fighting
I'm gonna
words.
invade your
Right,
personal
exactly.
space for
Right.
saying shit.
That's what he's
Right.
telling you. No,
I
right.
want you to come pull up.
Right.
What's
So he's
going
telling
on?
you that. So you know not to say that unless you know it's about to happen.
Now, but this is the thing that I tell my children. Don't say nothing. If you don't know what the connotation of your words is, then be quiet.
Be quiet.
Straight. I'm not going to explain it to you later, and I'm not going to come and clean up your mess
Yeah.
later.
Because then I
You
know you know repercussions. If my child, and he comes say, oh, yo, dad, I got a punch in the eye, my tooth is out, whatever.
Right.
What you
say?
just say? I just told him something.
Suck my dick. What?
Yeah. When you,
What I'm gonna say?
I might punch you in the eye for saying
I'm
that.
like,
See?
you lucky you're not dead.
Right.
I'm going to keep it 100, man. Out here in these streets, it's ruthless. Because
Yeah.
these young boys out here right now, like, you be lucky to have a full conversation with a cat. So your presentation got to be everything.
Presentation's everything. I
You know what
believe.
I'm
I believe it.
I'm building with the
Presentation,
homie.
appearance,
The parents, everything.
The homie was like, yo, dude, young boy got his hat taken by young boys, right? So the pops is like, what, 35, 37, something like that. He a young boy still. Pops is like, yo, he ain't having it. I'm
So he
going
with the
over
shits,
there.
basically.
Yeah.
Going over there like, yo, y'all, what y'all doing? They aired him out. Now your pops got murdered
Yeah.
over a fucking hat.
A hat.
So what you gonna do, little homie? You gonna find a space to get stronger now? Because now you got to either go way to the back.
Or come up front the front line, or get busy, or sit your ass back there.
Niggas murdered your father because your hat got took.
Yeah. It's just crazy. I had a conversation about somebody with that same situation like that. It could get like that. It could get like that. Easy.
I'm not making this up.
I know. I believe
0
you.
to 100.
Easy.
0 to 100.
Easy.
So, you know, when we
Just
out
to
here,
get a rap.
the interesting thing about our conversation is like we've been those young guys who was turning it up, you know, and we was around these situations and things like that where it could have got a little bit more crazy than what it was. And then we look at the fact that we still around, we still breathing, and we still could have a conversation with cats. Like, come on. My nephew, his son is 16, 17. You know what I mean? My nephew, his nephew, my son is 18.
Mm-hmm.
So have we accumulated anything in these streets so we feel like strong enough if we not giving back to them some form of fashion without being like, I guess, preachy with it?
Right.
Then come on, man, we ain't do nothing.
You ain't do nothing.
You know what I mean? We can't even.
That's what you got to pass. All that you have to do something with it.
Get that up.
Yeah.
Get that
You can't
up.
hold that on to that.
When you listen to the Smif N Wessun album and you hear Big Old Pimp Cook on Wipe Your Mouth. Wipe your mouth for all you cats means D-Riders. That's for all you D-Riders out there. He said, wait a minute.
That's on the Shinin, right?
That's on the Shinin. He's like, yo, wait a minute. So you mean the D-Riders can't get on this, right? They can't. All right, so get that mic up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So right then and there, we know what time it is. We know we your young cats, but we know we not going to be sweating you guys, and we're not going to be following these different things that's going to have us jammed up. We're going to link in with family and have respectfully, you know, have respect for the cats that's before us, but we not dealing with no D-Riders. We're not dealing with no wipe your mouthers, no wet mouthers. We're not dealing with that. If you out there in the streets and you dealing with that, then you're going to have consequences.
Yeah.
There's
on your
nothing
own.
to discuss.
Not with us. On your own.
We good.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Somebody going to check up on you. You know?
Yeah.
So, got to be careful, man. It's real out here. And because we have, I guess, this now explosion of, how do you say, like, the social medias, like, everybody's a star, bro.
Everybody.
So you...
Which is crazy.
Everybody. Every chick, everybody is a star.
Yo.
That's why, I swear, man, if it wasn't for, like, you know, me doing media, I wouldn't even be bothered with social media, bro.
Well,
I'd
thank
say-
God that you still keeping it up. We need some of the real guys that
I just don't like hate
to open the lane and doors back.
But even you guys, your
how
pages
addictive
are...
in it, the more you don't want to do with it, you have to, and you almost forced to fuck
Yeah. Because I go in there, I watch you guys, or see your thing. Those are good motivational. I like to have motivational pages I like to see. You know, if not, well, I'm sometimes, you know what? When I get too many girls on there and showing this ass, I start fucking unblocking. I'm following them. To me, does that sound gay or something? Like, I'm not, it's too much. Like, yo, bitch, like what are you doing?
I had to unfollow some fine bitches recently, man. No disrespect, but I'm like, damn, your last 12
and everything
pictures
in your bio is
was
book
just
me
like
to do what?
To bend over?
Oh man, you can be in the next Smif N Wessun video, man.
When is it? Let It Go. You just did Let It Go.
Let It Go. The album is we officially have a date, February 2/2/2/2/2/2. 2/2/2/19. Let It Go is out. We're gonna premiere our second video.
Oh, you did the second video already?
This Friday.
Joint called Testify.
Testify.
Oh, tomorrow I didn't testify. But Let It Go video is dope.
Give
I
it
was
thanks.
just showing them the video. And I was showing them how what camera was that we guys using?
I think it's a 4K. That was big up to my young PRs.
Who shot that? Shot by Cisco?
That's shot by Cisco.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
Latino
like, sharp,
brother.
right?
Cisco track record is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, you do history on him, you Google him, and you see like he's really out there. He's one of those young guys who's really making a name for
It's
himself.
only like, what, 22?
Yeah. He's out there. He done already did videos for a lot of different cats now. He got a Khaled on his belt. He got Deuce, what's son with the one eye?
Fetty?
Fetty got Fetty under his
M.A.
belt,
Yeah.
M.A. under his belt. So
Oh, that's dope.
it's like,
Oh, he's already.
yeah. Nah, he making his waves. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, it's cool to be able to deal with these young kids who have a head on their shoulders.
Yeah.
You know,
And knowledge of what's
yeah,
going on.
Yeah, and consideration for your stuff, B.
Yeah.
Like, cause some of these guys, they head is in the clouds, man, and they think that it's supposed to be a certain kind of way, and it's really not like that.
Because of
Only
Instagram.
One way.
You want it to be one way.
You only want it one way. You just see it on Instagram. You want that one way.
Oh man.
So what's next then? After this, the album drop and back on the road again.
Back on the
I'm
road
so mad.
again,
I'm so
man.
mad that as a fan again that I didn't get to have Smif N Wessun Mobb Deep album.
Yeah. I mean, but we
I just had to let you guys. I just had to let you guys.
The deal is we do have joints with.
You got-
each
Are you
of
saying
Yeah,
that
you
as a
should've-
Queens dude, or you just saying that as like a hip hop guy?
A
Right
hip hop fan.
Yeah.
A hip hop fan. Queens comes in is in effect, but as a hip hop fan,
South Jamaica, what up?
but you know I went to Tilden though. I'm originally from Brooklyn, but you know I'm all Queens now.
That's why I didn't
Yeah.
say that. You sit here shouting all this Queen shit. I'm just like do.
But you know, once you leave 16, it's like that's it now. Like it's been like how many years? I'm not gonna tell you my age, but it's been a long time. Like
So that's like
cool.
that's like if you was born in Jamaica and you leave there at 8,
he's not.
And now
Jamaican.
you-
yeah.
30 something, you not Jamaican no more.
Nah, like you don't even speak patois no more, bro. You over here talking some, hey dog. You sound like you from Miami
Oh,
and shit.
shit.
Yeah, get out of here.
Hey, dog.
That's why I tell Kamani Marley, you know, Kamani, I was like, yo, you be talking all that such shit. I'm like, bro, you not fucking Jamaican, bro. He be talking like, yo, dog, hey, bro, like, bro, you Jamaican or what? Shout out to Kamani, though.
Salute to my distant cuz, man.
Yeah, man. But yo, I appreciate you guys, man.
Nah, likewise,
for
man.
dropping the knowledge.
Yeah.
And the album is February
22nd.
22nd.
February
The
22nd.
Produced by Ninth Wonder and the Soul
Yeah,
Council.
the Soul Council.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
very
this is
interesting.
something, yeah.
Oh,
You got-
that means you're coming back up to weekend work, right?
We have
Of course, you always get the first
big
interview.
up to
yes.
Raekwon celebrating too. We got him on the album.
Oh, okay.
Rhapsody is on the album.
Oh, I got Rhapsody on there.
We got Young Roselle on the album.
Mm.
Soul Child.
We got Soul. I wasn't even gonna say that one, but yeah, we got Soul Child up there. He's doing something special for us.
Yeah.
But you know, the features
And
is to a
it's,
minimum.
what is it, 14 joints up there? Full
14.
length album.
Full length out.
Yeah.
But
We're
people
not
doing-
doing no EPs.
Why?
No disrespect.
Why?
To
Why?
all y'all 7-song
Yeah, people
artists.
doing 7 songs. That's 2 albums y'all
Nah.
got right now. Why not?
Nah.
People
nah.
say now
First
you
of
keep
all,
it.
we
14 is not
haven't-
bad though, but
It's
still.
not bad, but first of all, we haven't been out in
7
such
years.
a long
7 years.
span
Yeah.
to do since our last album, which was 7 years. So it wouldn't. I feel that we felt that would have been cheating the people
that really
to
want
only
it.
drop a 7.
After all
We
this time,
love
this all y'all
y'all.
come with? A gun in your mouth, and this what you come up with?
You know what I'm saying?
Right, you're right, you're
I
right.
only get half a bar. Fuck y'all niggas.
Yeah.
We got.
I got you though.
We
That
got
makes-
John Blaze stuff, man. We got a lot to prove.
Yeah.
But what was real for us was like, okay, being able to be relevant with ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then getting off the plane and then seeing Ninth Wonder grab your bags, you like, yeah, we gonna kill this.
Yeah.
It's
You like,
a
it ain't,
total
we ain't been
reinvention,
tripping,
man.
man.
It's-
man.
It's like
Nah, Ninth
Like-
Wonder did the whole thing.
Ninth Wonder
him
and
and
the
his
Soul
team. Him and his
Council.
team.
On the song.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be
He's
dope.
like the Diddy of his crew because he's more than Diddy.
I would say Diddy. That's a.
I only give.
He actually puts work in that.
No. Well, this is. Not, I ain't gonna.
Check was like,
New
yo,
York
Diddy.
for my New York people. I'm a salute Diddy, man.
Of course you
salute
salute him,
man.
but
He's-
but
he's
this
one
is
of
Diddy
those
pushing the number
guys.
on the knob. Yeah, that's it. All right,
Yeah.
boom. Ninth Wonder's gonna give you something else, bro.
Ninth Wonder's gonna touch some more stuff on it. That's a fact. But you can never mishandle the work of the composers. You know, like
Right.
in the name of guys like the Isaac Hayes guys and you know, what was this documentary I just watched with these guys? You never seen them play an instrument, but you know that they are like Quincy Jones. Have you ever seen him play
Nah,
an instrument?
Never seen
Not
it.
really. You
But he
have
had
to
like
go-
one of the dopest
Yeah,
songs with the whole,
have to
right?
go to the files to see him actually play, but his catalog is banoodles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you have to give some credit to the creative minds. You know, it's like, and I'm gonna give Trump one, because now he did something that was cool for the musicians. Like he did something where,
Oh yeah. He just passed that. Yeah.
right? He passed that law, you
yeah.
know, that regulation that we're able to now have more control over our creative, our creative content, our creative control.
But does that mean you guys own your masters? Because that's what needs to happen.
Well, Tech has still been on A masters. Yeah. We don't play that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Since day one, or
100%, we own all our
Not
publishing.
Oh, not since day one. Okay.
Yeah, we had to
But you got
put the
day
squeeze
one.
on a couple of people, but right now, yeah, like
that's dope.
that's our relationship with Bucktown. Like we're part owners of all of everything that we do.
Oh, that's dope.
You know what I mean?
Dope.
So
Okay.
yeah, I mean the Shinin, no disrespect, we don't own that.
Yeah.
So we had to do some political stuff to not get on that, but we're still cool with Michael Weiss.
Yeah.
It's no love lost.
Is that
and
priority?
that's Nervous Records. Priority, pretty much Priority. We own all that stuff.
Okay.
Priority is dissolved. So it's like, all right, you got
So all that
Priority,
you got.
and you got this other stuff, but who's coming back for that?
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's coming back for that? Like, big up to Mike Weiss. I don't even think he in this building no more, but we need to have a meeting on Thursday. Some stuff we got some swing.
All right. So one last thing before you since y'all was in the storm, right? Besides your album, in '95, give me the top 3 albums
That came out.
that
then?
came out
Lord
with
have
the
mercy.
Shiner.
Come on, man.
Top 3.
Cuban Links?
Number 1.
Really?
Number 1.
Absa-Smurfly.
Okay. Tech.
Mob Deep.
Into the 36 Chambers.
Number 1 for you?
definitely.
No.
I
what's
wouldn't
that?
say number 1 for me. No.
What's number 1?
Damn, hold on. Didn't Ready to Die come out then too?
That came out in '94, right? That wasn't on.
Yeah,
the
But
list.
you
Ready to Die
talking
was
about
before.
in that
95.
same-
This 95.
Okay, you talking about?
Yeah.
Let me look at your list.
The infamous.
Infamous.
The infamous.
Raekwon.
Goddamn.
Me Against the World.
The purple tape. Forget about
Yes.
it.
Nah,
B.
it
Yes.
would definitely have to be number 1. Would be Only Built for Cuban Links.
Right.
Yeah,
Number 2.
The infamous.
Infamous. What about you?
absolutely. Check,
Wow.
check both of those like that.
Wow.
Just like that.
Wow.
And then maybe number 3 would be 36 Chambers.
Ooh.
Nah, that's a hard one. That's a hard pill right there. Cause Liquid Swords.
Yo,
that
y'all
was
are
dangerous.
skipping Me Against the World?
No, I'm not skipping.
That was one of my favorite pop
That was the-
albums.
that
See,
was
yo.
the
but this
double-
one comes down to who's your top 5 again. For me,
Right, it all depends on right. Everybody
Right.
has a different top 5.
right now, as we said, that's my favorite, my best MC. But my top 5 would be a Big, a Nas, of course, a Jay-Z.
Right. You
Pac
said
never-
Pac is your favorite?
No,
He's not your favorite
No.
MC? Who you say is your favorite MC?
still,
Still's your favorite?
yeah.
Wow. Who's your favorite? Don't say Tech. Because then I'm going to say, man, come on, man.
I would have to think about that. I don't have a favorite really like that.
Yeah? So he's your... Yeah, I love you guys, man. Y'all like my brothers, man. He says,
I'm 45.
yeah? You still my little brother, bro.
Can't forget about Lil Bron.
Can't forget about little bro. man.
Brother.
Appreciate y'all, man, for
Man,
pulling up,
likewise, man. Thank you.
Smif N Wessun, Cocoa Brothers, Straight Blunt, next week.
Boom shot.